Oh. Mercy! Your brother from the gutter, the slick one, is back behind the wood. For the open bar, this thing we call the open bar, where there's never a cover, never a minimum. Yes, it used to be a radio show with music, and now it's a podcast without music. Because why? Because we cannot afford to pay for the royalties to play music. Oh, yeah, you got to pay all these companies, and it's insane. I think they charge you per subscriber. So, wow, a lot of shit going on. People still buzzed about the game last week. Now we've got the Jets. The Bills getting it out against the Jets, Jets in New Jersey, Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock. And it looks like Ed Oliver's going to be out with a ankle injury. Somebody stepped on his ankle, evidently, in practice. If you believe that, some people say one of his horses stomped on him. So, you know, who the hell knows? I mean, who knows? But we're going to miss Ed Oliver. As a matter of fact, they had to bring in, they just brought in this dude off the practice squad. He was a 6th-round pick of the Falcons a couple of years ago, Zion Logu. Zion. Does anybody ever give their kids fucking normal names anymore? I mean, Zion. What about Harry or Tom or Bill or George or something, something fucking Bob even? But this Zion kid, they had to bring him in because we've only got the only other defensive tackles we've got that are healthy for the game are Daquan Jones, Deion Walker, and TJ Sanders. That's it. Interesting they didn't bring Jordan Phillips off the practice squad. They chose to bring in this Zion Logu kid.
From MoonJunction.com. Zion is pronounced as Sion.
Sion. All right, whatever. And the Jets, they're no slouch. Justin Fields looked pretty damn good again the last week against the Steelers. So he was throwing the ball pretty good. He made some, running plays. They've got good receiver talent. So a good running game. So, anything can happen, but we should win this one without a problem, I would hope. And one of the big matchups will be Keon Coleman going against Sauce Gardner from the Jets. Keon, of course, coming off that awesome game he had last week where he had over 100 yards, including that clutch touchdown catch that was tipped, and he had the wherewithal to come down with. Sauce Gardner, he's a talented player, but he's up and down. This should be an interesting showdown Sunday between these two. Jets played 50% man coverage, so he's going to get Sauce one-on-one. He's got to win his matchups. Keon does.
You gotta be a football hero to get along with a beautiful girl.
Yeah. So the Jets allowed 34 points and had 0 takeaways last week against an aging and feeble Aaron Rodgers. So we should be able to kick some booty. The Bills now have scored, get this, 30 points or more in 4 straight road games. This is going back to week 8 of last year. Other milestones to watch for. Josh Allen only needs 3 passing touchdowns to reach 200 for his career. How about that, huh? And also with a win, he can become the second quarterback this century with 10-plus wins against the New York Jets, the other being Tom Brady with 30 wins. He didn't just own the Bills, Brady. He owned everybody. He owned the Jets, too. James Cook only needs 1 rushing touchdown to reach 6 consecutive games with a rushing score. But listen, these kids are going to have to step up Sunday on the defensive line. I'm talking Deion Walker and TJ Sanders, along with Daquan Jones. He's really the only healthy vet you've got there. So they're going to have to, get their feet wet. Sanders played a few snaps last week. Listen, this is why they drafted you. So go out there and make it look like you belong. And it looks like the Rooskies are at it again. Romanian authorities are reporting Russian drones have entered their airspace as Poland once again scrambles for jets. Ukrainian President Zelensky says drone incursions are an obvious expansion of the war by Russia as neighboring countries deploy air defenses. Yeah, they're getting bold here. Putin has sent some drones into Poland. They didn't blow up anything that I know of. They didn't. No one was killed. When it blew up a farmhouse or a barn or something, I don't fucking know. But now they're fucking with Romania. So anybody out there that thinks that Putin is going to stop with Ukraine, you're out of your fucking mind. Okay, this is why Biden was giving them money to fight the Russians. Trump is getting played like a fiddle by Vladimir Putin. You know, Trump reminds me of a teacher I used to have back at PS 67. And we would be out of control because we were delinquents that we were. And he would grab the telephone that they had hanging on the wall, you know. And he'd say, I'm going to call. I'm telling you, I'm going to call the principal's office. If you guys don't knock this off, I'm going to call it. And he never did. It was an empty threat. And it's just like Trump. I'm going to put sanctions on Russia. I really mean it this time. You guys got a week for a ceasefire. You got 3 weeks now for a ceasefire. As a matter of fact, well, let's just have a meeting and talk about it, you know. And then like the day after the meeting or the day of the meeting that he has with Trump, he bombs the shit out of Ukraine, like dumps more bombs on him than he normally does just to make Trump look like an asshole. And he's still getting jerked around by Putin. And I'll believe it when I see it if he does anything. Oh, you other countries should help us with Ukraine or with Russia. Yeah, that'll be his excuse. Well, these other countries won't help us with Russia. Well, maybe because you treated them like, dog shit. Maybe that's why they won't work with you anymore. I'm just reading the numbers on how Canadian visitors to the United States is down, way down, because of Trump, the tariffs, and all the bullshit, the nastiness, all the insanity. It's just been complete and utter chaos since day one. What's his name had it right. Way back in 2016 or 2015, Jeb Bush, he said, what did he say? Donald Trump is a chaos person and he'll be a chaos president. And he was exactly right. And now, of course, this shooting of Charlie Kirk, which is tragic, no doubt about it. Wasn't a big fan of Charlie Kirk or the whole Christian nationalism thing. I don't think there's anything Christian about Christian nationalism. It has nothing to do with Christianity or religion. It's a political movement. So, but Trump comes out, all the other presidents come out and say, well, listen, we got to get along. You know, our political enemies, our political opponents on the other side are not our enemies. I think George said something like that. He made a statement, you know, we got to unite. Everybody, Clinton, Obama, they come out with, statements to cool the room. What does Trump do? He comes out and blames it on the radical left, right? So this kid that's 22 that shot Charlie Kirk, turns out he's from a great middle class family. Everybody likes these people. They're down to earth people. The kid is obviously whacked. He's into video games. He's going to school for electric. He's probably never been laid. And this is the problem we have in this country with a lot of these young men. So it wasn't, and he only voted once, and that was a couple of years ago, and he put down that he didn't have any political affiliation with either party. But evidently he got into politics recently, and he did not like Charlie Kirk. So, but his family, they're not like some kind of radical left family. They go to church, middle-class family. Everybody knows him. Said he was a good kid, They always say that about fucking lunatics? But to blame an entire political fraction of people, to blame 30 or 40% of the country because one lunatic decides to take somebody out is just unconscionable that Trump does this. And let's face it, nobody has done more to divide people than Donald Trump, a president who is not president of all of the country, but president of, 40% of the country, his fans, 30 to 40% of them, whatever the fuck they are, his cult. And anybody else, you can go fuck yourselves. Oh, you blue states, you need help with a storm? Go fuck yourself. That's the kind of president we have now. So we have zero leadership, and it shows. And the FBI, the way they fucked up the FBI, they pushed all these longtime professionals out, made them take early retirement. Anybody that wasn't a sycophant of Donald Trump or a conspiracy theorist was booted from the FBI. Anybody that worked on any of Trump's investigations, up to and including the lady that was in charge of the Epstein investigation, which was James Comey's daughter. So he has gotten rid of all, Kash Patel has gotten rid of all the expertise. And they also took, I heard 20% of the FBI and put them on, what did they do? They put them on immigration duty, right? So this is supposed to be an elite police force, the FBI. They go out, they solve difficult crimes, corporate fraud, things of that nature. They're dumbing it down. They said they want them to concentrate on street crime. And now they're also making it so you don't have to have a college diploma to be in the FBI. So they can get, these idiots like you saw on September 11th invade the Capitol. These are the kind of fucking people that they'll put into the FBI. Some moron with a high school education. He's probably the all-night security guard at the local Walmart, and he's a big Trumper. And that's all you gotta. That's all you gotta be. Hey, and you could probably join up in the FBI in the not too distant future. So yes, Donald Trump, he's just doing such a great job of putting brilliant people in charge of these agencies. So the guy, basically his parents, his family members blew him in. So they didn't really have to do any great police work to find him, okay? But yes, the atmosphere is way too hot. And I didn't see Donald Trump blaming the far right when the politicians, the Democratic politician that was killed, where was it, Michigan or someplace a couple of weeks ago, and her husband, where that nut job came up dressed like a security guard, dressed like a cop, and knocked on their door and then, killed them. So, I mean, that wasn't premeditated. That wasn't the far right. He should be nowhere near the presidency. He just doesn't have any leadership skills whatsoever. His thing is to blame everybody else. I have never seen a more despicable person, and how people can actually suck up to this guy. I don't see it. I don't understand it. Meanwhile, people are getting kicked out of 60 people, I read the other day, Americans have been accidentally tossed out of the country or picked up by ICE, which is becoming Trump's Gestapo, is what that is. They put, I don't know how many billions into ICE, right? There's a kid that was just picked up, spent 3 days. He said, look, I could prove I've got my identification in my car. Let me go get it. And they said, no, you're coming with us. He had his passport in his car, this kid. Spent 3 days in one of these fucking shitholes. Wouldn't let him make a phone call or anything. Just unreal, the shit that's going on. And the Supreme Court is a fucking disgrace. I mean, it's a total disgrace that they're just letting Trump get away with all this shit. And somebody just got killed. Somebody got killed. You knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Somebody decided to run from ICE, and they shot him. They said he came at him with their car. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I'm just saying. What he's doing is he's inciting violence by putting these ICE people with fucking masks on that don't even show their identity, picking up people off the streets. It's this is fucking Hitler shit. So I'm reading this story. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro was convicted of attempting to stage a coup after his 22 election loss. Get this, he's been sentenced to 27 years and 3 months in prison. A panel of high court justices found him guilty on 5 criminal counts, including leading an organized effort to undermine democracy. The court called him the instigator of a coordinated plot to stay in power. The verdict has sparked international reaction. Of course, Trump has expressed his disapproval of the sentence, calling Bolsonaro outstanding and labeling the conviction very bad for Brazil. So, of course, he's going to take the dictator's side, right? But it just goes to show you that Brazil has better judges than we have, because they had a guy that pulled this shit and they didn't fuck around. They threw his ass in jail. The high court there is not bought and paid for. So maybe Brazil is a more better democracy right now than the United States. It would seem so, because the shit that he got away with, trying to rig the election, the electors scam, the January 6th, all that shit. I mean, unreal. Should be in jail. But in the good old USA, he's president.
It is out of sheer morbid curiosity I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
And our Dipshit of the Week award goes to 2 drunk friends who allegedly took turns shooting until one of them died.
I wish I had a retarded mind like you.
A bizarre shooting experiment between 2 Houston area men ended in tragedy, leaving one dead and the other facing murder charges. Cops say Sean O'Donnell, age 37, was arrested last Thursday in connection with the death of Aaron Prout, a 34-year-old originally from the UK who was living in Harris County. That's in Houston, Texas. This is according to the local sheriff there. Probably should have stayed in the UK, dude. Deputies have responded to what was initially described as a possible suicide at the home on August 17th. However, investigators found inconsistencies at the scene. It was later determined O'Donnell and Prout had taken turns shooting each other with a rifle while wearing a ballistic helmet inside the residence.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Prout was shot in the head and later died at the hospital. O'Donnell, who lives at the home where the incident occurred, was expected to be charged with murder on Thursday. Records show he was arrested 4 days after the shooting on an unrelated charge of driving while intoxicated. Hey, Roy, I got an idea for fun. How about we shoot each other in the head with a rifle and see if the Kevlar helmet really works? I'm surprised Trump hasn't called this clown up to head up one of his departments. All right, that's all the Slick One's got for you. Until next time, remain calm, circle the wagons, live fast, die old, weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon. And, of course, go Bills! Ground the Jets.
Hail to the king, baby.